Today, in developing countries, 800 million people continue to end their days starving. 72 million children never knew what education is. 2 million people continue to live below the poverty line. Ladies and gentlemen, we see that it's problematic how developing countries that should be focused on handling these problems can be pressured and pushed to allocate its already very limited budget for the sake of saving the earth. And these countries can be obliged to make green policies that can significantly raise the living costs in an already very poor society. That's why we want these countries to have the right to say no and to prioritize their economic development for the sake of the people over environment. When we say we would prioritize economy, we mean we would focus on generating economic growth, regardless of whether or not it has any environmental cost. For example, we would give these countries the right to not limit fuel usage, to have the cheapest form of energy and thus a lower living cost, because we believe that this will provide a better welfare for the people in the nation. And that will be proven in 2 points that we will deliver today. Namely, first, how securing the lives of the people requires us to put development first. And second, how prioritizing economic development will create a sustainable development. Moving on to the first point, we believe that securing the lives of the people requires us to put development first. Ladies and gentlemen, in developing society, the majority of the people are still not capable of fulfilling their very basic needs. People still suffer from poverty, starvation, and diseases. Well, these people are not strong and capable enough of making any significant positive changes in their life. A government is elected in hope that as a more powerful body, government can make good decisions for them and carefully regulate the budget to control the stability of economy, to solve problems such as poverty, starvation, and any other urgent issues. In order for them to do so, not only does the government need to allocate their already limited budget due to the fact that there are developing countries that have very limited sources, they need to subsidize more in the problematic sectors, such as the health and education sector, to make sure that society can live through the day. But they also need to, even more importantly, push for development for the sake of society. To do so, they need to generate a dynamic economy to boost national income and tax revenue. This also means boosting the manufacturing for goods, for example, which also means increasing the amount of carbon emission. However, we think that governments are perfectly justified to do so, because the moment that they boost the economy of society, they give the people jobs, more incomes, and the ability to uplift themselves and their family from poverty and suffering. Thus, government is providing welfare to the society. But what happens if we put environment first? In the other hand, putting environment first would mean denying the people of employment opportunities and the income boost exactly when they need it the most. Prioritizing environment will only hamper the will and the ability for these developing countries to develop and make big and significant decisions. Why? Because we believe that these decisions will not be able to be made because it's limited due to environmental standards. Also, we need to bear in mind that to put environmental first, you need to put up the standards of an environmentally friendly country. For example, in 2012, United States spent $9 billion just to maintain the program, which means that the government of these developing countries have to cut at least that much of their already tight budget from other essential needs, such as healthcare. This will result as a significant decrease of government's ability to help and sustain people's lives. In countries that put environment first, they also need regulation that limits companies from producing goods in the most profitable way. For example, if the amount of carbon emission is limited, the amount of good that will be produced will be limited as well. What happens is that if the amount of good is less than the demand of the people, the price will significantly go up. Thus, these people who are poor, they will have to spend much more money to purchase the essential needs for their life. We do not want this to happen because we believe that the essential needs such as food and daily supplies will not be met at all, causing even more poverty and suffering inside the people, thus more problems for government to handle. That is why we believe that prioritizing development instead of environment is the only way to secure people's lives. Moving on to the second argument that we will submit today on how we believe that prioritizing economic development creates a sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot expect a country of people in hunger and suffering to prioritize something as unthinkable as environment. Well, these people can barely survive the day. We believe that in prioritizing development over the environment, these people can be wealthier faster. The moment these people are wealthier, they will be able to fulfill their very basic needs to live that lies in the hierarchy of their needs. Thus, when those needs being met, and only then, they will be able to move to examine larger issues that affect the life of others beyond themselves, such as the environment. With the enhancement of wealth and gained through economic growth only, they will now have not just the intention, but also the means and the resource to make positive changes for the environment. When this occurs, even without any obligation, they will be moved to do so. This is far more sustainable than forcing environmental prioritization when they were still suffering and living in poverty, since there isn't any incentive and there isn't any capability to do so. Why? Because they will not have the necessary funding and resource to sustain the regulation and to maintain the technology that is needed. Indeed, this explains why the leading environmental group today, like Greenpeace and World Watch Institute, are located in developed nations, because people are able to live up to that. This is also seen in the case of Montreal Protocol of 1976, following the strong activism of Western environmental group, which has witnessed explosive economic growth, but they still did not want the world to now be blighted by ozone-depleting chlorofluorocarbons. Thus, this shows to you that the moment people have their basic needs fulfilled, only then will they become wealthier, and thus they will grow into a truly sustainable direction of development. And thus, we've proven to you our second argument. Because we want to prioritize people's survival, and we want to sustain the development and create the most sustainable form of development, we would prioritize economy.